You, baby, stay with me. We'll see my arms will hold you, baby. Never leave, 'cause I believe I'm in love. Sweet love, you make running out your mind. I feel so I'm in love. Sweet love, don't you ever come away. It'll always be this way. Your eyes cold, closer to you. I will be all that you need. Just trust. What with the feeling, never leave. 'Cause, baby, I believe in this love. Sweet love, you make my life not so lame. I feel no shame, I'm in love. Sweet love, don't you ever go away. It'll always be this way. There's no stronger love in this world. Oh, baby, you're my man, I'm your girl. I'll never go. Wait and see, can't be wrong. Don't you know this is where you belong? Oh, my sweet dream, I love you, baby. Stay right here, never fear, I will be that you need. Never leave, 'cause, baby, I believe in this love. What's up, y'all? Sweet love. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. What's going on, man? Just a little bit of welcome music just to get y'all in the mood, just get y'all ready, you know, little Anita Baker. You let my
I appreciate the vibes.
For sure, that's just for you. I'm gonna get started in like a minute. All right, all right. Y'all ready? What's going on? It's been a long break. It's a whole nother year. We made it. How y'all feeling? I'm gonna need all. How many people on here? I'm gonna need all 80 of y'all to be lively today. Okay. I went to the gym today. I was working out. You know what I'm saying? It's 8 o'clock. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna need y'all to be lively today. Work it out. Get ready. Okay. We had a long break. I remembered to press the record button. So we already recording. All right, y'all ready? So I thought it was important. Number one, it's some new developments. Some people been doing some things. I wanted some folks to share. Some progress is being made. I'm trying to figure out where everybody is at. It's been like 3-4 weeks since we last were all together. Miriam has joined the crew. She's here with us. She's gonna tell us what she's working on. But does anybody have any exciting news? And I know some of y'all do. So if you don't start saying something, I'm gonna start pointing y'all out. Any exciting news to share? We're all in this together. We're all trying to figure it out. And we're helped by each other's stories and like what's going on. And even if it's like something that's happened that's not necessarily a positive, but you're just on the journey and some new development is happening. Anybody care to share? Anybody care to share before we jump into this thing? I'm telling you, I'm gonna start I know some stories. I know some things that's going on. So I'm gonna start calling y'all out in a minute. Anybody?
Okay, I think I'm gonna go because I don't.
Okay. Thank you. Good. Miss Grief. Okay. Let me take myself off the spotlight. Hold on real quick.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so for me over the break, I have been working with this nonprofit. They are doing a mixed commercial use, and it's gonna be more of a kind of co-op type situation, but they officially extended a LOI to me to continue conversations for the first phase. So the next step is for me to submit financials, and we just continue talking it out, and hopefully we'll make it to the end. So that's my news.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Congratulations on that. Anybody else? Anybody else? Exciting news to share? Making progress? Anybody? Ain't nobody making no progress. Come on, y'all. Y'all leaving me hanging?
I have a little bit of progress. It's
Come
not
on,
confirmed.
Christina. Let's
It's
go.
not confirmed. So I spoke with my potential lead investor last week, and he confirmed like that we're on the agenda, and like they'll be back in office at the end of the month, and they're anticipating like moving forward with leading our round for me to start the project in Costa Rica. And so crossing fingers for that to follow through. And then of course, like once we get our lead, hopefully that there's a ripple effect of just closing out the round with the other investors.
Nice. That's huge. That's huge.
We're getting
Thank
little
you.
baby steps closer and closer.
Closer and closer. Closer and closer. That's what's up. Anybody else? Come on, Jermaine. Come on. What's up, man? Kaylin, what's up?
I can
You
share.
ain't got, come on.
Just the onward march of kind of setting the opening date in stone and then working backwards from there to figure out all the trades and get people hired and a bunch of end of year ordering. But exciting news that will allow me to focus more on renovation is that I hired a general manager to work at the property. So that should free me up. That's a big part. I'm an owner operator so right now, and that takes up a lot of time. So I'm very excited about him starting. He starts on the 26th, so that frees up a lot of time. And thanks to Damon for all the referrals and for all the gazillion trades that are involved in building or renovating a hotel, and so just reaching out to folks and trying to make it happen.
Appreciate you sharing that. And those referrals were made because he'd be booking my office hours. Okay. He'd be having all the questions. He books the office hours. He gets all the answers out of me. And I sent like 3 connection emails earlier today, because we had a session earlier today. So that's a reminder. Book the office hours. If it's a weird time for me, I'm gonna tell you, and we're gonna reschedule it. We had to do that a couple times, but book it. Kaylin, come on, y'all.
I don't really have nothing.
You just went to you went to a property. You getting ready
but
to
that was
raise
just for personal.
Nah,
Okay, well, I
come
went to Nashville to visit the Urban Cowboy hotel, boutique hotel. It was really nice. The suite that I stayed in was called the Muse. It's a Black-owned, minority-owned property. And also while I was there, I got to do the tour of the Uncle Nearest distillery, the whiskey distillery. It was really nice too. And I was able to visit the African American Museum, National Museum of African American Music. So it was a fun trip. I'm looking to visit some more boutique properties this year that are on my list.
Okay. That's what's up. Did you get any inspiration? Did you glean any inspiration from the Urban Cowboy?
I did. I did. I got a list of things that I need to add to my business plan. But yes, I did. I did. Thank you for making me go.
Yeah. No, that's what's up.
Can I ask you where that was?
It's in Nashville, Tennessee, but they have other properties. I want to say they have one in New York.
Yep.
I know they have one in Denver.
One in Denver. Yeah.
They have 2 in Nashville, actually. They have the motel, the Dive Motel, and then Urban Cowboy.
The Urban Cowboy is interesting because it's very similar to your concept, where it's in a neighborhood.
Correct.
It's not
It's-
like in a
yeah.
commercial corridor. It's definitely in the
Mhm.
neighborhood. So it's a
Mhm.
really cool activation there. All right. Anybody else? Chris, what you been doing, man? What you got going on?
Just running around. We had a pitch in Detroit this week.
Nice. Okay.
That went pretty well. So we'll see what happens with that. It's a independent hotel in Rochester, New York.
Mm,
Or, sorry, no, Rochester. Sorry, Rochester, Michigan.
okay. Okay.
Michigan.
All right. All right.
Michigan. It's like 40 minutes just north of Michigan or
Okay.
Detroit.
Okay.
So that was good. Just running around. Got a multi-family job today in Charlotte, so we're excited about that. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So,
Fun,
yeah.
fun. Okay. Man, what's the update on my end? Oh, big update. I think, I don't know if I shared. So the welding project fell through. Okay, so couldn't raise the capital fast enough. Ironically, so this is what happened. I was able to raise the capital. The day that I secured all of the capital necessary, the project went under contract to somebody else. 2 hours before. So
Wait,
when
and
I
which
called
project
that-
was this?
The welding project out in Frederick.
Oh, and Adam Frederick. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm Frederick,
Okay.
Maryland. Nah, don't be sorry, because when stuff like that happens,
It's for a reason.
always for a reason.
It's within purpose.
It's within purpose. It's always for a reason. So when I said that, when stuff happens like that, it's like, okay, this wasn't meant to be. Because I worked on that project for a while. But I'm always looking at deals. I'm looking at a project in Memphis right now. A Holiday Inn that I would be working with IHG to change the flag to one of their soft, they kind of have a brand that's like Autograph or Curio, where you can do your own kind of branding on the independent side, but they'll back it on the distribution side. So I'm taking a look at that, been talking to IHG about what's possible. And then looking at actually about 4 different buildings in Baltimore on the same street. So doing like a portfolio where there would be some hospitality, there'd be some retail, there'd be some F&B. So we'll kind of own a couple properties on the block and then like kind of mix and match what we do. So that's what I'm working on. The deal that we had talked about, the hotel deal at 20 keys, it's hard for me to try and make that one work at the price point that they want to work on. So the deal we'll likely be tracking as we go through this process is the one where I'm doing the multiple properties on a street called Baltimore Street. So I'll transition from that deal to showing you my process in this one. And it's very preliminary. I'm going to do a second walkthrough tomorrow to get some dimensions of one of the properties. We found out about the one property at auction, and then through a broker found out there's probably about 3 more that are available off market. So I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop and keep y'all updated with that. I know we got Miriam, who is just joining us for the first time. I thought it was somebody else. Well, she might not be joining, or she might join a little bit later. But I want to jump into some recap because it's been a little while. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch y'all. This is like a pop quiz for real. I'm gonna see how much y'all been paying attention over the last couple of weeks. So Miriam, just sit back. These folks really gotta show me that they've been paying attention, because I don't know. I don't know what y'all notes are looking like. So I'm gonna recap. We're gonna go through really quick everything we've gone through thus far, from day one till now. I'm gonna be throwing out some questions. Go ahead and unmute yourself now, because I'm gonna need y'all to just rattle out these questions. I don't need no hands. We going through a rapid fire. So let's do this real quick. And real quick, Miriam, this first slide is actually gonna be for you. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me get it all situated real quick. There we go. Really, this icebreaker right here. Keep those questions in the back of your mind, because we're gonna come back to you on those. You did them for the homework. It's easy, right? It's basically the homework questions. So if you gotta take a picture of it, you need to screenshot it, do whatever. You good? You got it? All right, cool. That's what we did the first day. We know what everybody's working on. Now I'm gonna throw out some terms. What's ADR, y'all? Yeah.
Average
take yourself
daily
off it.
rate.
Hey, okay, thank you. Thank you. RevPAR.
Revenue per available room.
There it is. There it is. EBITDA.
Earnings
EBITDA.
before
Equity before income
Interest,
tax. And
tax.
I know the T is tax.
What's the D?
Hold
Is
on.
it debt?
Appreciation.
Depreciation.
And amortization rate.
There it is. There it is. By group. It was a team effort on that one. All right, what's the difference between the gross and the net? Think about y'all paychecks, y'all. What's the difference between the gross and the net?
Taxes.
Mhm.
What's what?
Net is what you go home with. Gross is what you're given before taxes and other fees are taken out.
All right. Okay. All right. Stabilization. What does that mean?
Like when the hotel reaches like its target, like ADR and occupancy, and like after, like when it stabilizes, like when it's like selling and like, revenue
Consistent.
is exactly what what it's supposed to be.
Okay. All
Could-
right.
would we also add like when we're able to start paying investors back?
Yeah. I mean that could work. I mean, you should be able to pay them back a little bit before then, start paying them back a little bit before then, but stabilization is a good metric to understand when you're going to refi, or when you are at a good enough pace to refi. You've stabilized the asset. I'm going to throw out a trick question. It's not a trick question, but one that we didn't cover. What is the period leading up to stabilization? See what my hand did? What is the period leading up to stabilization?
Ramp
what is
up.
that called? There it is, the ramp up. Oh my gosh,
The ramp
come
up.
on. Come on.
I didn't know
Sky.
that one. That's good.
You got a ramp up period till you get to your stabilization period. Is that it? OCC, what's OCC? Come on.
Occupancy.
Occupancy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was about to say. NOI.
I know it's profit, but I forget what it's called.
Net
Yeah.
operating income.
Net operating income. Net operating income. What's your NOI? What's your NOI? All right, cool. All right. Y'all did all right. Y'all did decent. Y'all need to freshen up on those are some serious terms. People gonna ask you. They're gonna be like, okay, what's your
Wait,
ADR?
did we do POR?
No. What is POR? See how you gonna ask
Percentage of
the
revenue.
question? You're gonna ask the question and don't even know the answer. Come on, man. Come on.
Percent of revenue.
Yeah. Yeah. Percentage of revenue. So usually, and you'll see this in your pro forma, is you'll have the number, and then you'll have what percent of that is your revenue. Like,
What was
so
RevPAR again?
revenue per available room.
Per available room.
Ooh, extra bonus points. How would you calculate RevPAR? How would you calculate that? Revenue per available room. Let's think about it real quick. Your
ADR
times the amount of
divided
rooms.
by.
Oh, I thought it was so much.
No.
But I know it's by your total
Multiply
room, by your
or
total room
divided
number.
by.
Yeah.
I have a question for
Yeah.
this one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Do we include like the expenses, like the cleaning fee and the everything else in that rev par?
Do you include
Like
the
the clean-
fees?
Mhm.
No, no, you
Okay.
don't. That's not where that would be included.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be. We'll talk about that, but that's not where that would be included. The way you would calculate your rev part, I think somebody almost got it. How would you get to that?
Oh, it's your I know it's divided by, so Christina, you were right. So
Oh,
it's
it
divided
is
by, yeah, and it's just the available rooms that you have.
just available. Okay.
It's just room revenue. So room revenue, I think divided by,
Divided by available rooms.
Mhm.
So is room revenue divided by available rooms?
Let's think about this real quick. So,
Okay.
Well, I thought it was ADR divided by available rooms.
ADR. Okay.
yep. So let's say for round number's sake, you have an ADR of $100 per night,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're operating at 50% occupancy. Who is bumping that music like that, going crazy?
I think it's me over here.
Oh my goodness. All right, so you got ADR of 100. You have 100 rooms at your property, and you're running a 50% occupancy.
Okay.
Okay,
can you repeat the number of rooms, Damon?
you have 100 rooms. You're running an ADR of 100. ADR of 100. You have 100%. I said 50% occupancy, and you have 100 rooms at your property. What's your RevPAR?
That's right.
I'm about to play the Jeopardy music in a second. All right, I'm gonna make this easier for y'all because y'all over here struggling. It would be your average daily rate times your occupancy. Yeah.
So
So
we don't need to know the number of rooms. It doesn't matter.
no, I throw that
Because it's
out
just
there
the number of
to
rooms.
To trick us.
I do that out there. I do that out there
I
to
knew you
trick
did.
you. I mean,
Okay,
it's
okay.
easy. I mean, it is 100. You had 100 rooms, right? So
Yeah.
Right. 50 is
calculation
available.
should-
Okay.
So what is your RevPAR?
50.
Say it again, Hermane. Real loud for one.
50.
Oh, 50.
50. It would be 50. Revenue per available room, right? Per available room. So if you only sold 50% of your rooms at $100 per night, well, you got 100 rooms, right? So if you're at 100% occupancy, what would your RevPAR be?
100.
100. There it is. That's the reason why I told you how many keys you got. That's the
Okay,
reason
that
why
makes
it
sense.
matters. Yeah. All right. Moving right along. So we getting through it, yo. We did the intro to development. site identification. We're gonna really talk about a little bit more on site control. I know we did that with understanding the trades last time we met, but I want to dive into it a little bit more. We'll be getting through it next. We're gonna be building a budget. We're gonna be going through that pro forma, tearing it to shreds, ripping it apart, understanding Excel and how you do what you need to do. I'm about to have some fun. We talked about ground up. You remember talking about ground up versus adaptive reuse. Some of the things.
Wait, can you go to the last slide real quick?
This is all on the website too. This is all on the website. We over there grooving.
It's my friends. I'm at my friend's house. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, so this is all on the website. And we're actually doing the recap and site control today. When we last met, I blended these two together because I want to make sure we got it in before the break. We're gonna talk a little bit more on site control today, and then we're gonna go straight into building the budget. Now I know, so this is on me. I know I promised I was gonna have your pro formas ready. It's gonna take me a couple more days because I didn't realize how long it takes to build each one of y'all's individual pro formas. So give me a couple more days. They're coming. They're coming. I know some of y'all patiently waiting. Y'all trying to get that thing done, but they're coming. I'm working on them. All right, we talked about ground up versus adaptive reuse. Y'all remember that. FAR, floor area ratio, talked about parking, zoning, the development costs. And these sessions, Miriam, are recorded. I'm not sure if I put the last one up there on the site, but if not, I'll post that. But they are all recorded, so you can catch up. So we looked at a deal that I was looking at, not feeling that joint. Do y'all remember how to find a star report? If someone had to tell me, if you were to tell somebody, oh, you need to go get a star report, what would you tell them? How would they go get it? Where would they go? What would they do? Anybody, somebody.
They would
Go to the
go
website.
and like do market research at hotels in their area where they want to build.
Ooh, okay. All right. I see you, Miriam. All right. Jumping into the action. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. But the actual technical, like how exactly would you do it? If you need to go get one today, what would you do?
You just have to order one.
And how would you order one?
Go to their website.
What's the website?
What is it? Star I don't remember.
Man, I know I go to this website every day.
STR.com.
STR.com. STR.com. You would go there. How much does a star report cost?
A couple $100.
A couple, like 600.
Yeah,
I think you said
$600.
$600.
$600. $600 for a star report. So I remember when I asked y'all before, y'all was like, I don't know, maybe like 5,000.
Free.
Couple thousand. $600. And you can add as many properties. You can add 50 properties. I've seen a star report with 100-something properties on it before. Or you could do just your comp set. Each time you order one, it's gonna cost you $600. You literally go to the website, you have to make a profile, you'll go in, you'll add the properties that you want, you make sure that they report their data to STAR so you can get accurate data. You need at least 4 properties on each report. You do that, pay $600, that's how you get your STAR report. Why is a STAR report so important? What do you need it for?
For your market study.
Because what information is going to be on there?
Average daily rates for the area.
Yup. Average daily rates for the area. Occupancy. What else?
Would be like seasonal trends.
Seasonal trends, weekly trends, daily trends, monthly trends. is, you know, are you
Others.
gonna,
What about a pipeline? Is that gonna be on there too?
no, pipeline is not gonna necessarily be on there.
Okay.
Will other sources of revenue be on there, like F&B and
You
other?
won't be able to see other sources of revenue. You won't be able to see other sources of revenue like F&B, et cetera. And there
Does it
is,
tell, I might be wrong, but does it tell like, it doesn't tell like the type of market mix or demand? Like transient
does.
business?
It does.
Okay,
Yes, it does.
okay.
Yep. Group travel, transient. Yes, it does. It does break it down like that. It sure
Okay.
does. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. So back of the napkin underwriting, you look at your acquisition cost, it's gonna cost you $1 million. Your redevelopment cost estimate, obviously that's gonna be your total cost. So we looked at the project that I was looking at. I knew that my acquisition cost was gonna have to be at least like around $1 million. We're only gonna put in 50 a key at max, meaning that deal will be about a $6 million deal, 300,000 a key. And the rule of thumb is that you want your cost per key by the 100,000 to be close to your ADR, right? So if you're gonna redevelop a property and it's gonna cost you 300K per key, you wanna get an ADR that's somewhere close to that 300 number, right? 275, you know, somewhere around there is a good rule of thumb for if I'm just looking at a deal, that's the way I'm thinking about it. I'll give you an example. I'm looking at a project in Memphis. Let's get your calculators out real quick. It's 197 keys at $34 million. What's that cost per key?
$172.
172, which means what?
ADR is gonna be $172.
Yeah, I want to get an ADR. I want to see if I can get an ADR of 172. It's a Holiday Inn Express though, y'all. You think I can get 172 in Memphis in a Holiday Inn Express? Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
A
maybe.
good business
I think
account.
so.
A good business
maybe,
account.
maybe. It's Memphis, maybe, right? So is it a good deal? It might be a good deal. Now, I
You
want to
say get
change
that good
it.
convention business. You could
Right,
get it.
right. I can get it, right?
Right.
I want to change it into more of a boutique property, right? So, you know, that's what we're doing. We do the boutique stuff. So I want to turn it into a more of a boutique style property. And if I had to guesstimate, I'm gonna put, I don't know, 60,000 per key into it. What's my new ADR gonna need to be after I switch it to a boutique property? I'm putting 60, let's say I put 60,000 per key into the property to
Your
transition.
ADR needs to be $600.
60K per key.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 600.
No,
60
60K per key.
60K per room.
And that's plus it was already
Already
170.
30, yep, already 34 million,
250?
pretty much. Pretty much.
Excellent.
I'm putting, who said it was 270? You said 270. Kaylin, what did you say? 174?
172.
172. So 172, I'm putting 60 into it. I'm gonna need to at least get it to 232
A night. That's
per
the
night. ADR, average daily rate. My average daily rate after I've renovated it and turned it into a boutique property, and my ADR needs to be close to around 230. Now the question is, can I get 230 a night in Memphis in a boutique property? How would I figure that out? Star report, baby. For the star report. There's a couple properties in that comp set. There's a Curio that's already there. Caption, the new brand by Hyatt just opened. There's a couple boutique, there's an autograph that's there. So I would put those in my comp set and see what that number is, what that average daily rate is for those boutique properties. And it'll show me how much flexibility I have to put money into those rooms to get what I'm trying to get out of it. All right, y'all. We getting through it. We went to site control, understanding the trades. What is site control? What does that mean? Ooh,
Having the
come on, y'all.
option, having the option or actual ownership of a location so that you can, you know, raise funding, you can buy, build, renovate, whatever you want to do with it. But it's an option, if not actual flat out ownership.
Right. And what do you need in order to get site control on a property? What would you need in order to
An
do that?
LOI.
Mhm.
An LOI. LOI does what? And now, is that legally binding? If I got an LOI, if I get somebody to sign an LOI on a project, is that legally binding? And
No,
okay. So what do I need in order to get a legally binding agreement?
that's a purchase
A
agreement.
purchase agreement.
Oh, okay. Y'all making me proud. Y'all making me proud. I love it. Okay. All right. Now, all right, let me ask you another question. Since y'all over here on a roll, you about to get a PSA. Actually, no, let's go back a little bit further. You're gonna get an LOI signed on the project. So you found a property. Kayla, you found the perfect property. You got all the amenities that you want, got everything you want. You're gonna submit an LOI. What's your terms gonna be looking like? How much due diligence you gonna give yourself? Right? Well, how much due diligence, how much time are you gonna give yourself on this LOI to make sure you got enough time to raise the money you need to raise? Well, how long is it gonna take you to raise the capital you need to raise?
Is it 60 days?
As much as you can get.
As much as you can get.
Thank you. As much
Okay,
as you can
as much
get.
as I can get.
As
Okay.
much as you can get. If you can get 120 days, if you could get half a year, as much as you can get.
Okay,
Right,
can I ask a question? Can I counter
Yes,
that?
of course. Of course.
How do people keep extending like that due diligence period? Because from my understanding, and I guess maybe because I'm looking for houses and not like larger properties, they're telling me after 30 days or after 60 days, it's not gonna be able to, I can't prolong it.
It's a little bit harder on residential properties, I'm not gonna lie. So a little bit more difficult. And what makes it even harder for you specifically is you are in a hot market, right? So everybody leaving my state and going to your state and specifically going to your city and even more specifically going to your neighborhood and buying up everything and they're buying it cash. Right, you know they're selling their house in New York, they're selling their house in LA, California, they're coming to Texas, they're cashing out. So, and if you're a cash buyer, you don't need that much time, right? You don't need a whole long time of due diligence and a study period and all that stuff. You're doing your inspections. And that's pretty much it. If it were a commercial property, the way you would do it is in the LOI, which would turn into a purchase and sale agreement. So in the letter of intent, which would turn into a purchase and sale agreement, you would include extensions. So say you got 60 days of due diligence. In that 60-day period, you don't have to give anybody any money. And I think Christina, we've talked about this, right? You get a period of time where you don't have to put additional funds up. They give you like, I don't know, 60 days, 90 days. You get that period. At the end of that period, then you'll have to put additional money in, right? As a down payment or as a deposit for the asset. And so you will try and get as long of a period of time as they would allow you. Then before you get to that point, let's say, for example, and this happened to me on a deal, I had a 60-day due diligence period with 2 15-day extensions included, right? So I get to day 59 and I'm not ready to put, 50,000 down, 100,000 down. I execute my extension, I get 15 more days. I get down to day 74 and I'm still not ready, execute my extension, get another 15 more days, right? So you put that in the language of the contract, have a lawyer do it, have it drafted up, put that language in the contract so that when it gets to that point, if you need more time, you execute your extension. Sometimes a seller will say, hey, I'll give you an extension, but you're gonna have to come up with more money down. So I'll give it to you, but it's gonna cost you 15,000 additional to get an extension. Sometimes that happens. I've seen that before too, but that's how you would do it. You would draft it in the contract. Easier to do on commercial than it is residential for sure. Any other questions? Okay. All right. What are these terms? What are these terms? You might see this in the PSA. What's personal property?
Furniture, things that you can walk out the building with.
Yep. Yep. What's excluded property?
Means it's not included with the property.
Yep. I know.
Sorry.
I've dealt with sellers that they've had, anniversary gifts that they want to take with them. They got a lawnmower that ain't included in the sale. All of those things, those items are literally detailed, listed out in the excluded property of what you're not getting in the sale. Where is as is? What is that?
Okay, what's the difference between personal and excluded property? If you can. Thanks.
Personal property could be anything that you could walk out with that could actually stay in the deal, right? So like, for example, maybe you do have a lawnmower, right? And you're just saying like, nah, you can have it. You got it. That's yours, right? So I'm gonna put these are the things that are mine, but I don't even want anything to do with the business. You got it. However, I do want this picture that's up here. That's, what I'm saying? Like, you can have all the rest of this stuff, but this picture, I want that. That's excluded out the deal. So where is as is? Where is as is? You might see that terminology in a PSA. What is that?
Is that you buy the property as it is with everything it comes with all its problems?
There it is. There it is. Why is that important? Why is that important? Why is that important for you as a buyer? Go ahead.
Because you can't hold them accountable if, like, you have to realize that, like she said, the good and the bad, you can't, if something's wrong, it's on you. Like, you can't hold them accountable.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a personal story where this came into play. And I think I talked about this before, that looking at a project, there's some issues, some foundational issues. It needed to get a structural engineer out to the property to check it out. However, the owner went in and did the work himself, right? And so he did the work himself. Obviously, in negotiation, you want to use that as a negotiating tactic, right? If it's going to cost me $150,000 to do the work, you're going to have to come up that price, $150,000. But if you do the work yourself, and I didn't get a chance to either okay the work, look over the work, watch him while he was doing the work, I don't know what was done. If it's compromising the property more, became a serious issue, as far as closing is concerned. What is exchange cooperation? What's a 1031 exchange? 1031 exchange, what is that? Because this could become very important. I've had a couple of investors that are investing in deals as a 1031 exchange. What is that? Kaylin, you over there struggling like you know it though. I think you know it. I think you know it. What's a 1031 exchange? It's important. Somebody, anybody?
It's basically a way to defer taxes. It's when like if an investor has a property, they are looking to purchase another one, it has to be something that's similar to what they have. And they purchase the next one, then they're able to, instead of them having to pay in those amount of taxes, they're deferred, if I'm correct. I don't remember how long, but they're deferred.
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. You're deferring your capital gains because you're putting whatever earnings you have from selling one property right into like-kind properties, which is additional real estate. And I've had a number of investors that do that. What it requires is they have to identify your property within a certain period of time, right? So they sell a building, they sell building X. They have 6 months typically to identify another property that they're going to put their money into to avoid the capital gains tax. They need to actually have a list of identified properties. Whether they do put the money into them or not, they have to at least already be identified. After that 6 months, you can't switch it up and be like, oh, no, I want to go. It's down to the properties that you have identified. But it's helpful for you all, if you have an investor that wants to do a 1031 exchange, why?
He has to act on it quick, or he or she.
There it is. There it is. There it is. And we talked about due diligence and the extension of due diligence. All right, we had a real good session before we broke out. We had my girl Alexis come through and tell you all the people she got working on her deal. What are some of the trades? A few of them are here, but she talked about some additional ones that she has working on her deal. What are some of the trades needed?
So general contractor is going to be the person that oversees the like construction work.
What's the construction manager?
Almost like a project manager overseeing the construction, making sure everything is on track, on budget, the right amount of quantities are being delivered, etc.
Yep. And I mean, you said it's almost like a project manager. What would be the difference? Could you possibly have a construction manager and a project manager?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes. Yes, you can both.
What would the project manager be doing?
So wouldn't the project manager be more concerned about like the physical building itself? Like the project manager represents that project versus construction's the building of the project.
Couldn't have said it better myself, yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Sky. All right, what else? Anything else that you see that's not listed here that you might need?
An owner's rep.
Could a project manager be the owner's rep?
Yes. If you're if they're on your team rather than being brought on from a consultant.
Right. Why is it important to have that owner's rep?
So they can act on your behalf.
Right, yep. For what purpose?
I know, like for me, I don't know the construction lingo or anything. I'm just the visionary. So they're the person that can communicate your expectations and needs and make sure that the team is aligned with what your vision is, but they have the language expertise to communicate it.
It's kind of like insurance, right? It's like having someone who's done this before, especially if you are doing like a bigger project that's like 100 plus 200 keys. It's like having an owner's rep that has done this kind of development before and knows what they're
Right.
doing.
Right.
And if you have those super big numbers invested in the project, it's like to make sure that everything is going straight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot to manage, right? It's a lot to manage, and you need people that have done it before. So yeah, you're both correct. You need somebody that's going to be the rep for you. You could do it yourself. A lot of time, if you've never done a deal before, you don't know price and what's right, what's fair, what's accurate, and it's a lot. You managing, the architect has to do their job, interior designer doing their job, procurement, who's buying the actual goods and the FF&E that's going to go into the property. You have all these different engineers. You have lighting engineers. You have a kitchen specialist, right? That make sure that the layout makes sense from an operational perspective. There's so many different trades that will go into one deal. I only listed these. If you remember when Alexis was talking, she had about 7 more. It was like, yo, it was a different trade for every little thing, So very important to have the right team around you. And
Can
how do you
can you use or have a different architect too, like an on-site architect and then like the main architect if you're doing projects that are like overseas, like me and Christina and I don't know who else?
Definitely. You definitely can. You could have the architect of record, which, for permitting and planning, et cetera, that'll be the person who will sign off on certain things. And then that could be different from the actual main architect or the lead architect in the project, for sure. And typically your architect of record would be the local one, clearly, right? Because they're going to be the ones submitting the permits and doing those things. You definitely can have two, for sure. Good question. For my overseas development folks, and we're gonna get into what you're working on because it's super exciting. So I hope you got your answers to them questions ready. How do you source these folks?
Well, I know Alexis mentioned that she found some of her people through other projects.
Other projects she was working on. Yeah. Is that how you gonna source your folks?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah. Yeah.
How you gonna source it? Like, that's for real. Like, how you gonna source your people? You need some folks for your project. How you gonna do it?
Yeah, for real. Probably through other projects.
Yeah, for real.
Because I don't. Yeah.
And so I have on here. Go ahead, Henry.
I was gonna say, I go and look at like other hotels that I liked, but that are like in the same, like roughly the same range. I mean, if I go look at the St. Regis in Hong Kong or something, then that's not gonna be like the same level as I am. But if I'm looking at, like, let's say the Urban Cowboy, who designed it, who built it, who procured it, I'll just Google it and then see what firms come up. And sometimes I'll reach out to those guys. Obviously, try and use people and friends and whatnot, Damon, anybody that you can get a hang of. And then I also try and attend like random hotel conferences where you can meet people, right? Because the people that are giving speeches, they may not come and work for your project, but maybe they can recommend somebody that's good and that might be a good fit for your project. So those are some things that I have tried and works to different degrees.
I like that. going to these conferences. Independent
Also, just
lodging
go ahead,
conference.
maybe just call like other hotel owners, right? Like, I mean, as a hotel owner myself, people just sometimes come up and ask me stuff, and like, I mean, some people will turn you away, but others will be like, hey, yeah, I'm happy to help out, and I think that's that community is a big part of it, and sometimes people want to be mentored, want to be supported, and all it takes is sometimes you just gotta ask. So that's also just a direct approach of asking the owner of the hotel, who did you work with? Also has worked for me sometimes.
Mhm. I like it. I like it. Independent lodging conference. The confab is going to be in Austin, Texas, February 7th and 8th. Let me know if you're interested. If that's you. I mean, you right there, Kaylin. I mean,
I'm interested.
Okay, all right. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you a ticket.
Mhm. Thank you so much.
Miriam, you need a ticket too. All right, I got you. I'll put you on my list. And if anybody else is interested, let me know. I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna go. I think so. I'm probably about 80% sure. But if you need a ticket, I got you.
What is
I don't know,
it?
somebody FaceTime me in,
Confab mean?
please.
When is it? What's the dates again?
It is let me double check, but I think it's February 7th and 8th.
Okay.
Let me actually
Yeah, it
double
is.
check them. Yeah, that's it. February 7th and 8th. Yeah. So if you you need a ticket, let me know. Please let me know. So
What does confab mean? What's the difference with this one?
There's like 4 different conferences. So there's Cultivate, they all start with a C. So you have Cultivate, which is always in Brooklyn. You have the Congress, which can switch from city to city, but we just have one in LA. And then the Confab, we have 2 of those a year, and we pick interesting cities, to host it. And so the last Confab was actually, I think it was in Miami. I think Miami was the last Confab that we had. Trying to remember if we had another one. No, it might have been Miami, and then now we have this one in Austin. So we try and pick interesting cities from a hospitality standpoint to host it. I can't remember where the next one after we have one in the winter, another one either in the summer or in the fall. And so I'll let you know where the next one is going to be. And then I'll be going at the end of this month to a conference called ALICE. So the American Lodging Investment Summit. Probably one of the best conferences to attend if you are raising capital. All right, if you are raising capital.
Where is it?
It is always in Los Angeles, downtown LA. And that is typically the last week of January. And I think, man, y'all getting me on these dates. I think it's the 20th.
I'm about to look it up.
Okay, I think it's the 23rd and the 24th, or maybe the 23rd through the 25th, somewhere around there. But the American Lodging Investment Summit. Good, really, really good conference. If you're raising capital, everybody who raises money for hotels and lodging, all the funds, all the fund managers, all the brands. If you and She Has a Deal, Tracy gonna be there. Kendra's gonna be there. Everybody's gonna be there. Tons of parties, and the conference ticket is around $3,000, right? So it's an expensive conference to attend. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, but the players in the room?
The players are in the room. So if you could afford the ticket, afford the ticket.
Again,
But I
FaceTime me in.
got a life hack for y'all. I got a life hack for y'all for that conference. I've never bought a ticket to that conference. I've never bought a ticket to that conference. I go every single year. I've never bought a ticket to that conference. I've actually never gone to the conference. I just have to be in the area and take meetings. If you know everybody's going to be in the city, everybody's going to be in LA, downtown LA. There's, if you know downtown LA, if you know anything about any downtown, there's tons of restaurants, there's tons of places to eat. You schedule your meetings, you reach out to your people around right now, and you have back-to-back meetings lined up with people that you're trying to talk to during that time. Get on their calendar. Most of the deal making happens in that fashion, right? There's a Starbucks nearby. There's like about 10 to 15 restaurants nearby. So I've never seen the value in actually getting the ticket. So I haven't actually paid for the ticket, but being there, being in LA, it's well worth it. And I've made some very great connections just by being at some of the events, meeting people, sparking up conversations. So I highly recommend that conference if you're networking and trying to raise capital.
How do you set up meetings there? Like, how do you figure out who to set up meetings with? You don't even know the players.
That's a great
On
question.
the
I'm gonna tell you.
website,
Yep.
I was gonna say on the or suggestion, looking at who the speakers are on the website, either on LinkedIn, pinging them on DMs and LinkedIn, or tweeting them.
And one of the questions that I ask all the time now, so I've been talking to a couple of people that are in my network, and after the new year, you start emailing folks and saying, "Hey, what's going on? Just checking in. Are you gonna be at Alice?" Right? If you know some people that are typically in this game and this is what they do, are you gonna be at Alice? For example, Paul Fikowski? That's in. I had a conversation with him the other day. We ended the conversation. Are you gonna be at Alice? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Let's have dinner. I want to introduce you to some folks. Right? So if there's some people that you know in your network, just start having that conversation right around mid-January. Are you gonna be at that conference? There's another one, the NYU Conference Investment Summit. That's in New York. I'm trying to think when it typically is because of COVID messed everything up from a scheduling standpoint. I want to say it's in June. Right? That's a big one. Those two are probably the bigger ones from an investment standpoint. In a similar situation, I know people that don't go to the conference, right? But if you're on the East Coast and going all the way out to LA is a trek, try and do the same thing for the NYU conference, right? Right there, right in your city. So, or if you're in DC, we just pull up. We just gonna pull up. Me and Scott just gonna pull up on y'all. You know what I'm saying? So those are good ones. Those are good ones.
Oh, too, I was gonna say, Damon, use your connectors. So like, say for instance, you might not know anyone at the, conference. Use your connectors for sure to like help make the connection between you and somebody you want to speak to.
Right. Yeah, Bashar Wally has been a huge connector for me. He's made a bunch of connections at Alice. You're gonna run into people that you've seen before. If you know Tracy, get to know her. If you don't know Tracy, you should know Tracy. Yeah, you know me. Come on. Yeah, actually, you don't need to know nobody else. You know me. But those are good ones. Yo, wait a minute, John Jay, you've been real quiet over here. What you got going on?
I was trying to slide.
Real quiet. Trying to slide in the background.
Radar.
Nah, we ain't no sliding. Ain't no sliding.
I'm good.
You good? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So real quick, Miriam, we're gonna go back to this icebreaker. I want you to introduce yourself to the crew, if you
All right.
could. And the
Hello,
exciting part of
everybody.
it now.
My name is Miriam, Miriam Ba, and I live in New York, my hometown. I'm a military kid, grew up in the Southeast, no work pool, just the Southeast. Much love to my Southerners. And then my vision in property is, so I'm working on a project. It's going to be a resort in Sierra Leone, West Africa. I am Sierra Leone American. So yeah, it was kind of maybe similar to a lot of other people here. I just wanted to see a different side of hospitality, one that was actually truly inclusive. And one specifically for me is, a bunch of people, specifically Black Americans, getting their blood work done, going to West Africa. But even bigger than the target group is like West Africa is just gaining a lot of popularity recently. So surprisingly, there aren't many properties that are Black owned, even in West Africa. So I wanted to do a property there because the experience going to West Africa as a diasporan, and even from someone who's not, is very emotional on whatever side you're on. So I was craving something that there are no places like luxury boutique resorts or anything like that that can really make your stay comfortable and understand the viewpoint of your stay. So yeah, so that was what's kind of my vision, and green and all of that, and also like helping my Sierra Leoneans, my people. And best advice you've ever received. So I was thinking, I actually got a life coach a few months ago, and one of the best pieces of advice I've gotten from her is stopping and like feeling how something feels in your body. And yeah, just kind of pausing before you continue to make decisions. And that's probably the best advice that I've received. What am I looking to get out of the course? I'm looking to be a little bit more confident in my founding role and owner role. Kind of get to see what, I think which comes with the confidence is like knowing the lay of the land. And also knowing, so with that then comes with knowing how to choose my group and how to vet them, right? Because I'm not sure, like if you're an expertise in one realm, how am I supposed to like vet you to make sure that you know what I don't know to make sure that everything goes kosher. So yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing. I'm excited to have you. Super excited to have you. Man, we got a good group. We got a real good group. And this is the group we rocking with. So this is it. Ain't nobody else new coming in. Like we did it all that. This is the last day. So
What they say on Mean Girls, you don't even go here.
Don't
even go here.
So this is our main group, man. I'm super excited. I'm super excited about even the progress that's been made in a short period of time. And I think, Miriam, to your point, that is the goal. The goal is to get everyone confident enough to speak the language, to know the terms, because terms get thrown at you and you just got to understand and know to be able to rattle back the right answer. And so much obviously can be held back by not understanding the language that's associated. And so I want to make sure everybody is understanding and knowing. And then even for people that are a little bit further down the line and do know, understanding independent lodging is so much different than if you were trying to go open a Fairfield Inn somewhere, right? And no shade, Scott, to Marriott. I love Marriott, but it's just different.
Listen, I'm tired. I said work, thanks corporate, can't be at none of the conferences. I'm tired, but you know, it still teaches you some things for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so that is the goal. And starting next week, you will all have your pro forma. That is my you will actually start getting them tomorrow. Some of y'all will get them tomorrow, but by next week, you'll all have your pro forma. And I think the biggest aspect of what we're going to get into in the next couple of weeks, so really in the next 4 weeks, is breaking that down. You want to know that forwards and backwards. Before this class is over, that's going to be the most important aspect. If you understand that, you're golden. That's half the battle, right? Is understanding even how it's built, what it does, what it tells you, what the metrics are, is super important, especially from an independent side, on the independent side, right? Like how you going, you open your property, how you gonna do the marketing? You gonna have a distribution? You gonna have a company that's gonna help you on the distribution, or you doing it yourself? Well, even when I say distribution, do you even know what I mean?
Yes, they're providing all the, like they're providing, I'll use platforms to not make it complicated, but they're providing a platform for you to be able to pretty much make your money, like your marketing, your e-com, your like your
Soft
e-commerce, yeah, your ads, your like they're backing the opportunities for you to be showcased to make your money.
Right, right. Because, all right, when's the last time, I don't know who just dropped off, somebody just dropped off. I think Chris actually dropped off.
Like
When's
how
the
you gonna get on
last,
the subway? Like how
Yeah.
you gonna be breaking up the stuff, or you know what I mean, or like a billboard or whatever,
Right.
or like an email, the emails that generate, like all that is what
Yep.
they like help support, where your clients come in, where your sales come in, all of that.
Quick question for you. Let me see how I'm gonna ask this question. Which one of y'all stayed in the hotel within the last week? All right. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Stayed in the hotel in the last week. All right. Stayed in the hotel in the last month. All right. Stayed in the hotel in the last 3 months. Okay. Dang, Latasha, when's the last time?
I be working, y'all. I be working.
Listen,
I'm
that's why I
tired.
was waiting for the
You
3
hear me?
months. I was
I'm
waiting for the
tired.
3 months. I was like, there was a deadline, New Year's Eve. Wasn't nobody going nowhere.
I feel that. Okay, now the next question. The next question to go along with that. Honestly, I haven't stayed in a hotel. Actually, my hand would still be down, so don't even feel bad. Oh no, I was in New York in November for BDNY. That was the last time I stayed in a hotel. Which was like 3 months ago. Yeah, so I barely would have raised my hand. How did you book your hotel?
Direct. Thank you, Marriott.
I feel that. I'm a Marriott loyalist. I got
Nah.
yeah, my sister works for Ritz Carlton. Yeah,
Right.
my sister works for Ritz, so I get a discount. So I'm a Marriott loyalist. So that's how I'm booking. But how are y'all booking your hotel? How did you book your Chris? How you book your hotel?
Depends. For New Year's when we were in Detroit, I did hotels.com, but I knew where I wanted to stay. There were like 5 properties downtown Detroit that we wanted to stay at.
Which ones? Name them. Shinola, Foundation. What other ones? Name them.
We were looking at that. We were looking at the Daxton, which is in Birmingham, though. What else did we look at? We went to a couple, but those were the main ones. So I just looked on hotels, see which one had the best rate, and then I look at their site as well to see if they have a better site possibly, and then I just do the better rate. So yeah,
right. Okay.
but for BDNY, we took our whole team and I booked on hotels.com.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
I love your team, by the way. Archer is helping us out tremendously.
yeah. He's
yeah,
excited.
man.
We were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, I
So.
appreciate that. Okay. Miriam, how'd you book your hotel?
Them points on the bond board.
Some bond boy points. Okay. All right. I feel that. I'm a Marriott loyalist. And I'm about to dip on them with this IHG connection, but I'm still loyal. Kaylin, how you book your so how'd you book the
Wait,
Urban
can I
Cowboy?
ask, is anybody a Hyatt loyalist?
Nah, fam.
Oh, girl, nah. All I can say is I just know from the inside. Nah.
Nah,
Damon know what I'm
nah,
talking about.
fam.
That's all I can.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Nah.
Nah, fam. Nah,
I'm tired for a reason. I'm tired
ain't
for a
no-
reason.
ain't no Hyatt loyalists around here, man. Man, we don't do that. No, but how'd you book Urban Cowboy?
Actually, I kind of was old school. I called them and they gave me a discount when I called. She gave me a discount. And she sent me a link because I believe in going to the website, directly to the company website to pay. But after I called and she got my information, she sent me a link and I put in all my information. So
Oh, that's a good. Oh, you just brought up something good. Why do you believe in going directly to the company website to pay?
because I want to support the company. I don't
But-
want to have to pay, like I don't, okay, what am I trying to say?
I know what you're
don't
trying to say.
want them to lose out on any money from my booking. So I would rather all the money go to them,
All right.
especially if it's an independent hotel. Unflagged, shall I say, unflagged, sorry.
Right.
Hotel.
Right. And why, if you were to book via another third-party website, and no shade, because I'm on hotels tonight, I'm like level 10. Okay. I'm notorious for like not booking my hotel until I land in the city and then I book that. So I'm notorious for doing that.
It's more expensive too.
I don't know. I'm level 10. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I be getting the discounts. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, yes, I'm sorry. Of course you do.
I am notorious for doing that. But typically, if you were to book through a third party, even a hotel tonight, and not to pick on you, Chris, but even a hotels.com, what percentage of that is the actual hotel potentially missing out on?
20%.
Yeah, about 20% of that.
Yeah.
About 20%. So even if the price is the same, or even if the hotel is charging a little bit more, they're gonna lose at least 20%. I've seen it even higher. I've seen 25, I've seen 30, right? So
Sidebar, if you guys
yeah.
are ever booking anything on Groupon, not that they have hotels on Groupon, but like a service, Groupon takes like 40%. So just call direct and they'll give you like the same price, even cheaper than what Groupon's giving you.
Travel Zoo, I don't know if that even exists. There used to be this website called Travel Zoo that I worked at a property and we ran a promotion on Travel Zoo. Crazy. I think it was like 40% that we were giving them. So rooms were like, we were getting like $100 a night. We said we'd never do that again. But yeah, so the reason why I asked that question, not to sidetrack, but that's an important aspect. How are people getting to your property? You open up a property tomorrow, how are people accessing it? How do people know about it? We knew about Urban Cowboy, we talked about it. We know about the boutique hotels in Detroit. We've talked about it, but how are people gonna know about your property? To book it, to even know to go direct. And Hamang, we've been talking about that for your property and your project. People knowing about it. How do you get the press? How do you roll it out? What's your go-to-market strategy? We're gonna talk about all of that too. It's gonna be important, right? And sometimes, I know this is the Unflagged Academy, but sometimes you might have to go ahead and attach yourself to a flag or a brand. For capital raising purposes, for branding purposes, you might have to. And there's a couple of them that are flexible enough, I'll say that, flexible enough to let you do what you want to do on the independent side and still take advantage of the Marriott, the Hyatt, the whatever system. Can anybody tell me, because we talked about Marriott a little bit, what is the most flexible brand in the Marriott system that will allow you to do your own individual branding and still end up on the Bonvoy website?
It's not the luxury collection, is it?
Nope.
Is it Delta?
Nope.
Design hotels.
Design hotels.
Huh.
Design hotels.
Who was Design Hotels?
Design hotels is Marriott. It's Marriott.
Girl, I didn't even know that word for it. I work for these fools.
Oh, design hotels, man. That is the most lenient from a branding perspective. And what I mean by that is you are your own individual property, but you take advantage of the Marriott Bonvoy system. One hotel that is a design hotel, the proper hotel in Los Angeles.
I might have missed this because I have to step away. Is this the same as like the homes and villas brand?
No.
That's
Nope.
That's different too.
Totally
Okay.
different. Totally different.
Okay.
So Urban Cowboy could be a design hotel.
Oh,
I'm actually surprised that it isn't, quite frankly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the okay? I got so many questions. What's the benefit of being a design hotel?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Just doing it on your own.
Good question. Now I asked y'all, how'd y'all book your hotel? What did half the people up in this thing say?
From the app, from.
So I'm going to Houston. I'm going to Houston tomorrow. I don't know. Everybody that's not Kaylin, tell me a hotel, a boutique hotel in Houston. Can you name one? Chris, can you name one? Do you know a boutique hotel in Houston?
No, I have a buddy that lives there. I always stay with him.
Okay.
And he's not a design guy, so I never drag him to any hotels.
Got it. So you wouldn't know. Anybody else? Anybody else know of a single boutique hotel in Houston?
Well, hopefully they don't know back in Congress.
There it is.
But
there it is.
But
if we were going to Houston, I gotta go to Houston tomorrow.
I
don't know. I'm the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to the Bonvoy website. I'm going to the app on my phone. Okay. I'm typing in Houston and I'm scrolling and I'm gonna find one. And if you are on a Marriott Design Hotel, you're gonna be on that list. Okay, this looks cool. Okay, I never seen it. Oh, it's a little back and call. Let me check that out. And I'm booking it.
I have a question about between the design and the luxury collections. Do you have more freedom with the design because it doesn't have to be a luxury resort or luxury, but like say if you are going to be a luxury resort, is it probably better to go with the luxury collection? Do they still give you that design freedom?
That's the difference, is the design freedom. And you can compare and contrast. If you go to the websites, so this will be, you know what? I'm so glad we're going through this, because this will be y'all homework. This will be y'all homework.
It's an interesting twist, because when you look at it online, which I'm pretty sure that's what he's about to give us, a sign for us to do. The unique thing about that collection is that each is different. It's not like a Ritz where they're pretty much all the same. So they do have like their very unique, based on location or whatever.
I love it.
But you still gonna follow a lot of Marriott's rules. But I did want to say, damn it, no, that's why I thought it was that at first, because they are very unique luxury hotels. Like one isn't like the next, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But still gonna be a lot more stricter than the design. That's it. Like you're gonna have to check off more boxes before they approve. Let me just say that.
This
Is
is
this,
what I,
do,
this is,
do, is the
no, go ahead, go
percentage
ahead.
still the same? Like when you said it was like 20%, is that still the same for something like that? Or is that a whole
No, it's
nother?
whole nother thing, because what I was talking about is third parties,
Oh, okay, that's just third
right?
parties.
So third parties. So what's a third party website? Booking a hotel. What's a third?
Hotels.com, Booking, Travelocity.
There you go. Right, those 20 to 30%. For you, you'll be a small property. What's another one that's unique that you could use that maybe nobody else could use?
Airbnb.
You could. You could.
Mhm,
That's another one. There's a whole bunch of people that be on. The
mhm,
first thing they do is go to Airbnb. We hotel people, but I
mhm.
mean, a lot of people will go to Airbnb first. That's a default. So that can be looked at as another distribution channel. The difference between, and Sky hit it on the head, design has the most lenient and is the most flexible from you having your personal design and even your personal brand. If you remember, I said Proper Hotel is a design hotel, but the brand is Proper, right? And so all their properties are listed on the Bonvoy system, but they still have maintained their own personal brand. And so for those of you that are building a brand around what you're doing, that's an interesting option, right? That's an interesting option. Another example of that, and this is what I want you to do for your homework, because it's something to consider. I want you, number one, to figure out what are the soft brands. So write this down. What are the soft brands for the following major chains? I want you to figure out what the soft brands are for Marriott, for Hilton, and for Hyatt. And the last part of that I want you to figure out, the Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas.
I'm trying to stay there.
I'm
trying to stay there because I'm trying to go see Usher.
As you should. The Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas is backed by what soft brand? Interesting question.
I might know that one. I think I might know.
Hey, you heard what I said. I said what I said.
Wait.
Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas.
Is that only the one in Las Vegas? Because they just opened up one in New York.
They did open one up in New York. They just opened one up in New Orleans. I specifically am saying the one in Las Vegas is powered by which soft brand?
Okay.
So you're right, Miriam. Not all of them are powered by a soft brand because they are their own brand, but the one in Las Vegas is uniquely different.
Have you stayed at the one in Vegas?
I haven't stayed there. I've been there though.
It's nice. It's worth it staying there.
I'm not a huge fan of the Virgin brand personally.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
it's a little bit too kitschy for me, a little bit too much red going on.
Okay.
I stayed at the Virgin in Nashville for one of them conferences. It was all right.
Okay.
Were you there, Chris? For Next Gen?
Jacqueline and Archit went.
And Archit went, okay.
Yeah. We sent Archit because he won Boutique 18 this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
right before BDNY. So
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up. Okay. So yeah. I
One
stayed
thing-
there. All right.
So
That's your homework.
I do want to say something about the soft branding. I was very anti soft branding.
Mhm.
Because the inspiration, right, was like, I just want to build something that's like mine and different.
Right.
But not many people travel to Sierra Leone. So it's like, okay, let me start considering it. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you good.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's all good.
If I remember,
It'll
good.
come back.
Okay.
But I will say, like, respect the journey. Like, it's okay to start off like that. And like, I'm still figuring it out, like, you know, kind of what, especially kind of having close touches with, you know, the brands, what that revenue looks like. You see these numbers, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, it's okay to consider that. And then either take the money that you are going to make and, you know, channel that into something that could be your own. So like, yeah, it's nothing wrong with,
So
you
I
know.
remember what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because I went to NABHood, and they're very heavy on the branding there. And one thing that did make me, I was talking mostly to like what's the W brand? So
Wyndham.
Wyndham.
Mhm.
And from them, like a bunch of other flags, they were saying that it's not like set in stone. So like
Right.
you could start off,
Right.
they're like, we want to earn our keep. So we could even be with you, and then 4 years after you can tell us to kick rocks.
Right.
Which was important to me because I was like, I want to grow into a bigger
Your brand.
like I want to be a Marriott of Africa, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like,
Right.
so that made it more appealing to me that like it doesn't have to be a set in stone owned by Marriott forever.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a really good example. And thank you for sharing that. So Dream Hotels, right? You familiar with Dream Hotels? They just got acquired. I forget who acquired them.
Your
Highgate,
favorite
maybe?
brand, Hyatt.
Hyatt acquired them. I was gonna say Highgate, but yeah, Hyatt acquired them. My favorite brand. Do you know how Dream got their start? Wyndham. They were Wyndham hotels to start out for the first 7 years that they were in existence. They started out as a Wyndham brand and had their distribution backing them. After the 7-year contract, they broke free and went purely independent. Right? So that's an example of how that can take place, right? Where you've aligned yourself with the brand, you get started, you do a couple of projects, and then after that time period, and so for most soft brands, it is only about a 7-year commitment. For design hotels, it's 5 years, right? So you know how quickly 5 years can go by? I mean, we talk about ramp up and stabilization period. By the time you stabilize your property, you ready to drop Marriott off the thing.
Can I ask a question, Damon?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that what happened with the W in DC? So remember how the W was Hotel Washington, independent.
Yep.
Then Marriott, W, and then obviously Marriott acquired Starwood, so Marriott. And then it dropped, and now it's back to Hotel Washington.
Yep. No,
Or is that just a sale?
That's a sale, and the
Okay.
ownership wanting to get away from the flag.
brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that deal forwards and backwards.
And then I had another question too. So I
Yep.
worked at, is it possible to also, like, when you think about, it's obvious, but like, is it possible to partner with a management company that has strong ties, like in distribution? For example, I worked at a boutique luxury property in Georgetown called the Melrose Georgetown Hotel, and they're independent, but they're backed by Remington, which is a very strong management company. I would say like right after Ambridge, to be honest.
Yep.
So is it possible that that's another route you can take to just kind of like get, I mean, people speak of management companies, but there's management companies that have like their own strong presence and distributions.
Right.
So is it possible to like go that route too? So like, even if you don't
And-
want to go with a brand, you just partner with like one heck of a management company.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, management can help you out tremendously. Highgate is a great management company,
Yeah.
especially on the independent and the boutique side. Sage is a really good one. Obviously, you
Mhm.
mentioned Ambridge.
Yeah. Remington's really
and-
good with independents too.
Right. Remington is a really good one. And Remington's really good, especially on the East Coast too.
Mhm.
They got a lot of properties on the East Coast. But
And I even think about those people who want to do, on this call, who are thinking about doing, like acquiring space or, like refurbished space. And say, for instance, you find like a historic building, like maybe in Sierra Leone, you find like a historic building and Remington is a part of like the historical hotel collection. So if that building has like historical presence, you know what I mean? So like they are like, you could get hooked in a lot of different ways.
Yep. Yep. No, management is huge. And so yeah, man, this was good. This was good. It's a good little recap. Got y'all minds back. Y'all ready now? Budget next week. Building a budget. Woo. We gonna have fun next week. Any other questions? Come on, if you got questions, don't be shy.
Can you remind us what your days are for office hours again?
Yes. I have it on the website. I think it's actually Wednesday and Friday. What are my times? And then I have a Calendly link for you to book. And if I can send you the Calendly link. So Jonathan, you have my number. Just tell me just have me text you the Calendly link and it'll show it all there. But I think it's every Wednesday and Friday, I think between noon and I can't remember. It might be noon to 5 or it might be noon to like 8 for the working folks. But feel free to book it any time. And if I have a conflict, I'll let you know. Because sometimes I be
And
living
sorry,
life.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
As you should. To clarify, the office hours is like when we want to book with you, like one-on-one question.
One-on-one.
Okay.
Yep. One-on-one questions, work through stuff as it pertains to your deal. And you could just, it ain't even gotta be that formal. If y'all got my number, y'all need my number? You need my who needs my number? Anybody need my number? Just shoot me a text. Are you free tomorrow? Anybody? Y'all got my number? All right, I'm gonna give my number to everybody real quick. And if you don't have it, write it down. Most of y'all do. But it's 510 220 0631. And then let me know. I could just send you my Calendly link. My man is good at that. He just threw a 3:30 on my calendar today. I'm in the middle of working out. I'm like, what is this? 3:30 on my thing. We made it happen. So I'll send you the Calendly link. Y'all can do it. I'm excited, y'all. We're gonna have some fun over the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys are learning a lot and getting enough out of it, but we're gonna learn a lot as far as the budget is concerned. So get ready, get your brains ready. I know it's late for y'all East Coasters, man. Get y'all brains ready, get some coffee. You know what I'm saying? West Coast over here, Christina over here fresh. The sun, I think the sun is still out. I know it's raining. It's raining out there, so we may not get no sun, but she over there
Wired. She's still
fresh.
wired.
Yeah, they over there grooving. She having a dance party over there and everything. Man.
I know I don't want to take too much time, but is it possible if everybody can do like a mini intro? Just like
Mini intro on what you, that is true. Let's do that real quick, and then that's how we're gonna close it out. Tell us what you're working on.
I'll go first. Hey, I'm Hemang. I have a hotel in Indiana and branded property, kind of break the shackles, do something interesting, convert it into a boutique property, 100-room property, hoping to open in August. So that's where I'm at.
Hello, I'm Kaylin. I'm from Houston. I working on opening a bed and breakfast here. Currently, I plan events, so I would like to host and plan cultural events and programming within the city at my future property. But the name of my business is Beck and Call Hospitality because my last name is Beck. So try to do a play on words there. But nice to meet you.
Okay, I'm Latasha. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I created my own brand. It's called Global Loss. And I am looking to do a probably like an 80 key hotel in West Louisville. And there's currently aren't any hotels in West Louisville, so it's going to be a little challenging, but I'm excited. So yeah, that's my project.
I love how nonchalant you said 80 key. Like it's
I'll go next. So my name is Sky. I'm originally from Philly, based out of DC. Just in the hospitality space, and currently working for Marriott. But obviously, the goal at Minds forever and always would be some sort of ownership, or even investment, which is probably doing a lot of thinking that's what I'm leaning towards. But of course, just staying sharp with ownership, and then obviously, looking to possibly like invest in some amazing projects that obviously you all are working on, and maybe start my own.
I'm
My name is Chris.
Christina. Oh, sorry. I'm Christina. I am building Infinity Land Costa Rica, which is a 250 room resort and events venue on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. And our intention is to build with travelers of color in mind, 100% accessibility and sustainability.
good to see you again.
Hey.
My name's Chris. I am, it sounds kind of funny, but I'm taking this class for fun. You guys are doing this for real. I am an interior designer. I have my own firm in Chicago, and my fiance and I, she signed me up for this course. She said it, she was really excited for me because she's tired of me talking about wanting my own kind of like land in either like Wisconsin or Michigan. We live in the middle of the city, so some type of like escape. And I never really talk about anything small. So I was like, oh, well, we could, build 1 or 2 cabins. Maybe it grows to like 24 cabins. There's a main house. Like we can like, do all these things. And so I'm just really excited to kind of like learn from you guys, learn from Damon, and see if it is a possibility for me to own some land, and grow this into something bigger than 1 or 2 cabins. So yeah.
You already got the design firm like squared away. You good.
Yeah.
Right, that's half the battle. No,
I
that's
think
what's
I'm
up.
like,
Yes,
I'm-
John Jay.
I'm John Jay. I'm based in DC. I work in marketing and tech. And over the past year or two, I've been really interested in getting into hospitality. And I'm interested in opening like a wellness retreat center that like will connect people into nature and just give travelers opportunity to like be on their self-care vibe. So that's kind of my vision, but I'm still trying to figure out like what market makes the most sense, but here to learn the foundational fundamentals.
What's up? What's up? And I'm Damon. I don't even know what I'm out here doing. I'm over here doing everything and nothing at the same time. Man, it's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, y'all. It is a marathon and not a sprint. But man, I'm excited. I'm super excited. This is like this is the highlight of my week. So I've been a little down that we've been on break for the last couple of weeks because my goal is to give y'all everything that's up here. And I've learned so much just by going through the process so many different times. And I realized, even the reason why I wanted to start this course is I realized there's so much you don't know unless you know someone that's willing to take the time and tell you, right? There was so much that I just had to learn over time, the language, like how you talk about deals when you're in the room, having the confidence to speak about what you're talking about, how to raise capital, all these things I learned over time. Best practices, right? Understanding that, okay, I'm gonna need to have somebody to call because I'm gonna need a $50,000 deposit on this property to just secure it, right? Can I call somebody and just be like, yo, I need a loan for 50,000. You got me? These are things that I didn't know prior. So I just want to make sure that you guys are all equipped. And so we're gonna learn together. I'm learning the process on how this all works. I know next time I'm gonna need more than 3 weeks to build out these pro formas because I was struggling. I'm struggling, y'all. I'm struggling. And then Miriam added another pro forma to the mix. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really struggling. But we're gonna do it. And so I'm learning as well. But I appreciate all of y'all for taking a chance and coming and joining this academy. And I hope it can grow. I hope that we can actually get some deals really done. Chris, you talked about you think you might be able to. No, we're going to make it happen. You're going to be confident enough to make it happen. And if it doesn't happen in the next year or so, we're going to have problems, buddy. We're going to have problems. We're going to try and figure this thing out. But I'm excited, when I hear you all talk about your progress and the things that have happened, man, and Latasha, you shouted me out on Instagram. I deleted Instagram off my phone, but I had to go back on real quick and I seen it. And I was like, oh, I didn't repost it because I'm trying to, get off of social media for a second, but I appreciate you. I see you.
You're
So
welcome.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah, I appreciate it. We're gonna have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So thank y'all for rocking with me. This is it, man. 2 hours. We recapped budgeting next week, diving into y'all pro formas. Look out for those. You're gonna get them over the next couple of days. I'm gonna post these last two. I'm slacking on posting the last session. I'm gonna post the last session on the website into the member areas. We'll have that. I'll post this one as well. So yeah. And then reach out to me, text me. If you want to book some office hours, I'll send you a link and we could do it. 30 minutes or an hour. So that's all I got. Have a good night. I'm going to sleep, y'all. You're welcome.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All
Good
right,
night.
River, happy New Year,
Good
everybody.
one.
All right, bye. You good, John Jay?